Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Holly Randall Unfiltered. My guests today are notorious in the adult world. One is a former sex journalist who turned all-star screenwriter, then director, and he even gets naked in front of the camera sometimes. And the other is a cosplay queen who went from Christian cult kid to award-winning adult icon. Welcome, Shawn Alff and Little Puck.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, no, it's so great to have you guys on. Shawn, I've known you forever.
Yes, you have.
Puck, I met you for the first time at the Pornhub gala.
Yes, yeah.
I can't remember who introduced us, but they were like,
It was Shawn. Oh, then Siri.
Yeah. Oh, that's who it was. She was like, you need to know who she is. And I was like, okay, here I am. And now I'm going to like learn everything about you.
She has a lot, like people who love her are fanatical about her and they want to like introduce her to everybody.
Yeah.
And that's how I am with her too. So
one of the things that I think Siri said to me was that you were one of the hardest working people in the business. And I have to say, from the many times that I've seen you at events since then and the lengths to which you have gone to like dress up and like do cosplay is that is a significant amount of work.
Yeah, I just saw you last week and I was playing Lizelle from Baldur's Gate 3. My call time, my own self-imposed call time was 5 a.m. that day.
Wow.
And I still showed up to that party looking hot with Sophia Locke. It was sick.
And how many scenes did you shoot?
4.
Wow. You know, I used to play Baldur's Gate, which is so weird. I'm not a gamer at all, but when I was younger, like that was the only game that I played.
That's so sick.
But I don't really remember. I was drinking a lot. So like I don't remember a lot of details about it, but I just liked like getting a group of people together and like collecting things. And I never got very far.
Was it a drinking game? Like even every time you won a quest, you would drink?
I just drank.
You just drank.
I just drank anyway. And it also like, I mean, I was by myself, so I didn't like.
You were just playing yourself.
I just imagine like Code Red Mountain Dew with vodka in it. Like that's what I'm envisioning.
No, just the vodka. Why you gonna go water that shit down? Come on. Yeah, it was. Yeah, but I loved Baldur's Gate. It was really fun. And then you were Pinhead from Hellraiser.
Hellraiser, yes.
Was at the Expos Awards, right?
Yes.
That was crazy.
Thank you. The amount of people who came up to me and were like, I didn't know it was you until I saw your tits, made me so happy.
Yes.
I was like, all right.
Yeah, I had no idea who you were. I mean,
ball cap.
You must get that a lot. Like when you do those dress ups, you'll see people that you know really well and they just look right past you.
To the point now, though, that people are like, oh, of course it's going to be Puck because I'm dressed up so much.
Right.
And I've actually had people come up to me who I don't even know who are like, you didn't dress up this time. Like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, oh, fuck. Now I can't go outside unless people...
I'm very disappointed that you showed up as yourself today.
I know. I was going to put a beak on and stuff, but...
We debated it. We were like, should she...
A beak?
A beak. I have a spare beak.
A spare beak.
Prosthetic beak.
Like a bird's beak?
Like an owl one, yeah.
No.
What are Saturday nights like at home between you guys is what I want to know.
I can play any woman, any character.
I thought she's consoling me.
It's all right.
What do you have to go through?
Do you want the bird tonight?
The bird.
I play a mean Duolingo.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
When did you know that you were like into costume and dressing up like that?
I started when I was in like church camps and like all kinds of dress up and like theater stuff when I was a kid. So I've always been cosplaying as something.
Right.
So it was a very easy switch over when I started doing adult.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like, there's the basic ones, like put on a nurse outfit, put on a secretary outfit, whatever. I skipped past that very fast.
Yes. What's like the craziest or the most difficult cosplay outfit that you've done?
I think one of the craziest ones, well, the Pinhead one was pretty crazy. It was like 5 hours to get the ball cap on. But a banger that I personally love, and the amount of men who have been like, I can't believe I came to that, was Salad Fingers, which is an internet meme by David Firth. It's like this very skinny green animated character with like really long fingers. And he's just like, I want to suck the milk from your teat. Like that. And he's really creepy. And I made, I like doing horror characters. So making guys have like scary comes is fun for me.
Where they don't know. It makes them question their sexuality maybe or what they're into.
Yeah.
challenging them.
And is this why it works for you guys?
He's always scared. It's so easy. He was already like that when I found him.
No, I don't think, I mean, that is the fun of it, like the dress up and the play and stuff, but sexually it doesn't do too much for me.
Sean loves dressing up and getting to
Yeah, I love dressing up, but it's not like a fetish.
Right.
But when we also go to parties, though, people are like, "Oh, you didn't wear something this time," or like, "Or you?"
This is the problem with dressing up at parties, is then there's that expectation.
Yeah.
But my dress up is like absurd. Hers is like intricate and cool. Mine is like,
I was upset that you didn't show up in like your gold lame little shorts and
again, we thought about it, but we were going to try to honor this fun. Next time, challenge accepted. Next time we're coming.
I mean, just know
costume.
that I am very disappointed.
They're on underneath.
Yeah. Everything rips away.
Yeah.
I always have a Speedo on. I'm always prepared.
So I like to, obviously get to know how people got started in the industry because everybody has a different origin story. Shawn, so you started as like a journalist.
Yes.
And then I remember that you did like fine art nudes.
Yes.
Which, beautiful stuff.
Yeah. No money in those though.
No, of course not. Anything that's beautiful, there's no money in. Art, no money. Double anal, lots of money.
Yes. So my origin story, I was in Tampa. I was writing for a weekly alternative paper. Like all papers, it was dying. So they were trying to build their online brand to get people to go online. And so they were like, well, what do people look at online? And it was sex and love. So I became a sex and love editor. And so I started covering like swinger resorts, nudist resorts, fetish events, porn events. And just the more that I wrote about porn, those were the stories that people were the most interested in. So I'd go to parties and that's what they would want to talk about. And then I'd be like on porn sets and stuff. And I kind of just follow the path that makes for the most interesting story. And the more I've got involved in porn, the better those stories did, the more people were interested. And then eventually I moved to San Diego and I'd come up to LA like once or twice a month. And I think we met on set. You were shooting Danny Daniels, Skin Diamond, and
Eric Everhard.
Riley Reid at that one house. It was for Danny Daniels' feature or something. And they dressed as nurse or maids. Anyway.
Sean, you remember that one.
I can't believe I forgot that. Okay, yes.
So that was when I was writing for like AV and XBiz, a little bit for Hustler.
How did I forget that?
I think you were still drinking.
Probably.
You did come in late with like sunglasses.
But I still shot it.
Yeah, you still got it done. But so I was coming up and writing about it, and Jackie St. James was looking for a production assistant and also somebody to help her write scripts. And I was like, you know what? I can make way more money working behind the scenes than just writing about porn and have more fun. So in 2 weeks, I quit my job, moved up to LA, started working behind the scenes for her. And I realized very quickly that if you are relatively competent and you show up on time, everybody will hire you to work behind the scenes and you're not creepy. So I started working for her, writing for her, and then working for a lot of other people. And then things just kind of snowballed from there.
And then I know your career has taken much more trajectory since then, but we'll get to that because I also want to dive into Puck's story. So you grew up in what you describe as a conservative Christian cult. So what did that lifestyle look like?
I didn't masturbate till I was like 18 because it was a sin. Right. When I would make out with people, I thought that I had like angel's bells in my head telling me to stop. Like I had like I felt like what was God and the devil in my head, like all the time, like the intrusive thoughts and things, like, telling me to be a good girl. I was very good. I believed pretty much everything I was told until like my teens. And I think what brought me out of that was the gay theater kids at my high school.
Wow. Those gays, they'll
get you.
They'll open your eyes.
They opened up a lot of
world.
portals for me. So I think when I was 18, I got kicked out briefly for being in a queer relationship.
Ooh,
Well,
that must have been rough.
it was rough. I was going to a Christian university at the time, so my parents took that away. They took the car away. Couldn't live with them anymore. I think 2 weeks later, I like came back and lied. Was just like, oh yeah, we're not dating anymore. Can I please have this stuff back? And then since then, they just have kind of like pretended that that never happened or anything. But yeah, what got me out of that very conservative, very sheltered, very unhappy lifestyle was just meeting other people with different walks of life and then exploring my own self and sexuality. And it's only been uphill from there. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I've talked to a lot of people in the adult industry who came from a very conservative, religious background, and they say that it's something that they still struggle with. Do you still feel like those shackles of shame?
I'd say for probably until I was in my late 20s. I'm in my mid 30s now. And I don't feel it as much anymore, really at all. But it was a very, very hard through all of my 20s to because I had to relearn my sexual boundaries. I had none because all I was taught was purity culture. So anything beyond that was a sin or unhealthy for me. So I didn't have good boundaries related to relationships or my sexual health.
Right.
I was pretty divorced from my own sexuality. And what got me learning about myself was porn and producing my own amateur solo content. And that helped me explore my own kinks and fetishes and my desires and opened me up to a different world of pleasure.
How does your family feel about your career now?
They know. They know. I hid it from them from as long as I could, but I think they found out from someone else. When I did finally tell them, I really thought I was going to be excommunicated because the last time that I had told them about myself, really, that's what they had done. But I think I had broken them down over the years with so many different things that at this point, when I told them, like, I think it was like 5-6 years ago, they were like, they cried, but they were like, I mean, yeah, kind of figured. I mean, look at you. So.
Yeah, they think once you like leave Christianity, of course you're going to do.
Yeah, it's over. I mean, and I had gotten arrested for like activism stuff and like have very different political views and things.
Right.
So there was multiple things that like just over the years, they're like, okay, she's gone.
Yeah.
She's left the fold.
I'm always curious, what's your relationship with religion and God now?
I'd say that I have like a spiritual like tendency. I want to believe in something, but I don't actually. I don't believe in a God. And that's something I'm still trying to explore because I think after leaving Christianity, a lot of me for a long time was kind of just like dampening down any sort of spirituality or any sort of religion at all and not letting myself think about that because it had destroyed me in so many ways and had left me very unhealthy in multiple ways.
Right.
But I think now I've healed so much that I'm to the point where I'm like, oh, I could think about other things now. I could open myself up to being like, I don't think faith necessarily is a bad thing. I just think it can cause a lot of harm if you let it run your life and oppress other people.
Yeah. It's interesting because, I had the completely opposite experience. I was raised as an atheist, right? And so when I kind of had to come to terms basically with my alcoholism and I had to like find a way to look for like a spiritual, look for something
higher
bigger
power
than myself, higher power. Thank you. I actually like, it was difficult for me because I had been, taught that, God was a lie and all this kind of stuff. And my dad actually used to say that people who believed in Jesus were stupid, like straight up.
Yeah.
But I found that actually like, it seemed to me to be easier for me to, find my own concept of like spirituality than it was for people who grew up with a very unforgiving God and a very strict religious background that they had to like completely reimagine a spiritual relationship where I had never had one in the first place.
Yeah, I can see that.
So you like created the God. It's like, I think the problem with Christianity is the dogma. Like I think religion can be good. It's just like when you have rules that were written 2,000 years ago and you're still trying to follow those, that can be troublesome.
We had talked before about like some of the tenets of Satanism or what's like one of them, something about like the absurd or like having something that you believe in the face of the absurd. It can really be anything as long as it helps clear your path. Do you remember?
I don't remember that, but
Okay,
that sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
Ernie, you still have your mic, right? Oh, right. Oh, we added a mic for Ernie so he could like chime
Check
in and look
things.
stuff up and shit. But okay. What can you look it up?
But I think
Anyways,
God is like a metaphor, right? But I don't think of a God as an old man in the sky. I grew up very religious too. And when I broke from it, it made me question everything. And it made me much more like, I only trust things that I can see facts for.
Mm-hmm.
But I do acknowledge that there's an unknown. And I think you can call that unknown God. And I think that can be healthy, that there's mysteries and things that we don't know about.
Yeah.
But I think it is really just the dogma of like, no, this is God and these are his rules that gets people into trouble.
Yeah, for me, like the word alone was really hard for me because the word was, had so much like it was tinged with so much negative, such a negative connotation for me. So even the word was like really hard for me. But I do believe, like, if we want to call it God, I personally believe that like God shows up in other people. Like that's where you see it is like in the collective, like conscious of humanity, and I don't know. That's it for me. Wait, is this a porn podcast?
No, I'm sorry.
What happened?
Let's just jack off the mic for a second. Let's get back to the basics, guys.
Did you find it?
What was it? It was no, I didn't find it. It was what is
It was a tenet of Satanism, and it was
like
Well, there's also different versions of Satanism.
there was like the 10 that you have on like a
Yeah, so that's from the Satanic Temple, which is newer. But like one of them was saying like, we believe, what is it? We go on the best scientific proof of something is true until better scientific evidence comes along to,
Oh, that's a good one.
I don't know. There's so many different ones, but
Okay.
it's just,
Am I sending Ernie down a rabbit hole?
Yeah, we need to be here.
Yeah, a lot of crazy stuff's coming out.
he stays on it long enough, eventually he'll just find satanic porn and won't go.
Aleister Crowley. We could. It's very different.
All right. Well, maybe we should redirect to dicks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Actually, let's talk about
Speaking of dicks, I know
Speaking
exactly
of
where this is
dicks.
going.
Speaking of dicks, let's take a commercial break because we do need to do that. I'm sure that the commercial. So let's actually talk about how you guys met, because you guys met at Burning Man. Is that right?
I think our relationship solidified at Burning Man. Why are you rubbing?
Yeah, that's creepy.
I feel like you want to tell the story, so you tell this story.
We met and we have now solidified the day that we met as our bang-versary because we had a BBG with him and Robbie Apples. And that's our anniversary date now because it's...
You could just tell there was something about just me and her and Robbie Apples.
all together.
That mixture.
It was powerful.
We were like, yeah, we had a pretty strong connection.
I walked into that house because I some of my friends I've been looking for a place to stay in LA. It was my first like big collab. Was it?
She had just started shooting content with other
Yeah.
people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you were doing all solo stuff before.
Yeah, I had like worked with some people and some girls and models and stuff in Chicago, but there's no one out in Chicago.
Yeah.
So I came out to LA. I was recommended Robbie and Shawn's place. And as soon as I walked through the door, and I don't mean this to sound creepy, but it does sound creepy, I was like, I'm going to live here.
So I'm moving in immediately.
I'm moving in because the vibes were just so correct and like nice, and the aesthetic and the art and just the feeling was like, this is home. And it turns out now I do live there. That you and Robbie are like my boys. That whole friend group just really accepted me, and I was very lucky. Yeah.
It was like a parasitic relationship. You know how you get like termites and they just kinda, it becomes a termite's house?
I'm like a black devil anglerfish where you're the little one and you attach to me and I absorb you into myself.
And you
And we grow
become one.
together. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's something about threesomes. Like what's funny is I've arranged a few threesomes with the women that I'm like, you would get along with her. And then they have like a stronger connection, and then my dick is just there, which is great.
Yeah.
I love it. But
I also love filming Sean's threesomes, other boy girls. It's a favorite.
I had another threesome. I can't say with who because they're not public yet. Very recently, I had a threesome with them. They started dating.
Oh my
So there's something
God.
about-
You're like the threesome matchmaker.
Yeah,
Who is
yeah.
this? Wait.
We'll talk about it later.
Oh. No.
So wait, isn't there a movie with like Will Smith where he like plays somebody, and if you date him, then you
You get married after him.
something like that?
There's Good Luck Chuck
Maybe that's
something.
it.
with Dane Cook, who like I feel like they date him, and then the next person after him, they
Yeah.
get married. Yeah,
Oh my God. So you're like that person. So like if someone has a threesome with you,
yeah. So have
Then
threesomes.
they'll-
If you want to find love, you just have sex with me. Maybe it's that I make everybody else look better. I think that's my role in the industry. Is the spotlight doesn't come to me, but I like enhance
yeah.
you
the
bounce.
spotlight on other people.
Oh wow.
that's
You're like the supporting actor.
Sean has been described, no joke, to me as the load-bearing support beam of this industry. And that's a double entendre in there. So
And I accept
proud of
that.
you.
I don't need to be.
you were.
I think my success in this industry has come from accepting that I'm not the star.
But you build others up.
Yeah, I built others up.
Yeah.
I'm good. I've always been good at being supporting, which is why I love working for women and other people, helping them.
People who like want to be the star, it's fine, but it's like people are always attracted to other people that are going to make them feel good about themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
You know? And generally people who think they're the star.
But the balance with the good one is like not just being a yes person and not just, but you know, some people don't like that.
So you said that you solidified your relationship at Burning Man.
Yeah.
So what did that mean?
Well,
Is that when she put the beak on?
That-
That was the
Well-
moment?
I put a pickle in my butt.
there's a lot. Well,
You go.
you tell that version and I'll tell. Burning Man is like, what's funny, if you go to Burning Man in a relationship, oftentimes you'll end up either broken up by the end of it or you'll end up getting married. It's kind of can be very stressful, and you find out how well you like somebody and how well you get along with somebody. It's like traveling on a road trip with somebody for a week.
Yeah.
I had been to Burning Man, I think 6 times. That was like my 7th or 8th time. And it was her first time. And Burning Man is a huge, huge city. And we ended up staying a block and a half from each other randomly. And that was the year of the big rainstorm. And so we were stuck out there for like 3 extra days.
Oh, I remember that.
And I think it was just us like having fun, but also like sharing a tent space and existing in that world and realizing that, I don't know, if we could do that, everything else was easy.
Like we said, like at the time, I was like, there is no one else in my life right now who I could imagine being stuck in these conditions with and having such a great time. Like I love a lot of my friends and like exes and things, but none of this would have been okay.
Yeah.
But
Do you want to say how we solidified it though?
No.
You don't want to tell the story?
Yeah.
I'll tell the story.
Well, we had a lot of anal, if that's what
It was like your first, I guess you'd done anal, but like we started doing anal more there.
Yes, and a lot of acid.
A lot of acid.
Which is
Anal
now our
and
thing.
acid.
We microdose a lot together and write stories. Really great
Although you
stories.
start opening like this can of worms and
I
you're like,
put it back. Here's another can. Which worms would you like?
My parents used to microdose together a lot too.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
but again, that is another thing. Like Burning Man, if you do psychedelics with the wrong person, you realize like, oh, you can't relax around them.
Yeah.
You feel uncomfortable. But if it's
Yeah.
somebody that you have a good connection with, it's a great time.
Yeah.
But I think it's just, for us, psychedelics allows us to play. And I feel like play is so important in creativity and in relationships and in life in general. And that just helps us. And that's what Burning Man is too, is play in this creative environment.
So when, what did it feel like when you guys had sex on camera for the first time together? Oh wait, no, but that was
That was the first time.
bangversary.
that was the first time
That was
you
the
met.
first time,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you had already like broken that ice by
Yes.
Yeah.
When I keep like him like
She had planned all of this. This is
what are you
not.
talking about? True story. When we had sex with Robbie, I said Sean's name during sex. I don't say people's names during sex. I was like, Sean. And I felt bad because I wasn't saying Robbie's name. Love him. But I was like, this is, it was very good. Enough that I would say your name.
So, Sean, I want to talk a little bit about your career expansion.
Okay.
Because you started off as a screenwriter and then you started performing.
I did start performing.
Which surprised me. I have to say, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
I mean, the art nude should have
clued you.
Should have clued me in, but I don't know. What made you decide to go there?
It's just, I have this giant dick and the world
and the world needs to see it.
It's like, it's such a shame to keep it to myself. No, so Balesa wanted to do a series called Zero to Hero about a loser, about a regular guy who wasn't a performer becoming a performer. And the owners asked me, and I sent them this long email that's like, I have anxiety, I have low sex drive, I have a very average dick, I only come like once every 3 days. I'm going to be terrible as a performer. And they're like, that's why we want you. They wanted me to fail because they wanted to show people that it's not
that easy. Yeah.
So I was, I think 39 at the time, and it's not like the ideal time to start performing. So much like writing about porn, as I said, I follow the path that makes for the most interesting story. And I think in the back of my mind, I've been taking copious notes, and I was like, I'll write a book about porn one of these days.
Right.
And so I figured, well, this would make a really, even if I fail completely.
Yeah, make an even better story.
Yeah. I definitely struggled on several scenes. I didn't completely fail any of them. It taught me a lot about myself. I stopped drinking. Not that I didn't really have a huge problem, but I was like, well, if I'm going to be on camera and drinking adds to your cortisol levels and makes you more anxious. And, so doing that has made me a much better person. It's made me much more in tune with my own sexuality. I realized like, I don't think I have the confidence to shoot much for other companies, but as far as content goes, I'm pretty good. It's as if it's just like me and a few other people who I know. And so after that, I started shooting content. I think it helped that I had a rapport with so many people. And the content thing just kind of took off from there.
And then now you also direct for Zero to Hero.
Yeah, now it's come full circle. And I'm directing a new guy in the Zero to Hero line.
And how's that going?
It's going well. We are going to do, I think, 20 scenes. The last 3 are coming up. It's really interesting to see somebody start and watch them evolve, and also, I guess, seeing things that I wish I had known too when I was starting out. But he's doing well. I mean, he can get his dick hard and he can come. Sometimes he can come multiple times. It's just all of the other things that we're really working on as far as acting and connecting with your co-performers and bedside manner and all of those things.
Bedside manner.
Yeah.
Like I've said this, but I don't have a huge dick. What I do have is some sort of charm or charisma where I'm pretty decent at connecting with people. And I think a lot of guys don't realize that like the biggest thing about shooting content is before you're worried about like pleasing a girl or making her fall in love with you, you first have to make sure she feels safe with you.
That's a good point.
And I think just building this rapport of people who feel safe with me, I feel like they would take that over somebody who's going to fuck them hard, but they don't know if that guy is going to know when to stop.
Yeah. Especially like shooting content, because a lot of times it's just you and the other person.
Right.
Right.
And you've never met him before.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of wild.
It's such a strange
wild country we're still living in. Yeah.
So, what was your first scene like?
My first scene, luckily they let me kind of pick the people in the beginning. And I chose Kenna James because Kenna has this way of making you feel like she's really connecting with you. And I'm sure you've experienced this with her on set.
Yeah, she's
like
great.
she genuinely cares. And I think it is because she genuinely cares.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was just somebody, obviously she's beautiful, but the thing I cared about most was just somebody who was nice.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. You wanted safety.
Yeah. I wanted somebody who wasn't going to,
Especially because you have to perform.
right.
Like the weight of the scene is on your shoulders.
Right.
So you don't want like some cold diva who's just like, let me know when you get hard.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
like scroll Instagram,
Right.
you know?
Exactly.
Let me know when your dick's ready.
Actually, it's funny. I never know. Like, I feel like my dick and I are like Siamese twins, and we have different brains. Because there's some things I'm like, this will make him feel at ease, and this won't. As far as like working with certain people, but then there's been times where I'm working with somebody who I think the scene's going to go well, and then it's like taking me a second to get hard, and I'm like, what do you want? And then there's other people who are just like mean, and I have no connection with, but for whatever reason, my dick's like, yep. Let's do this. So I'm still figuring out what the thing is.
The dick science.
What my dick, yeah. Each guy in this industry has a dick science
superstitions.
and dick superstitions of like, I need to do these things. Like I knew one guy, every time it's something different, for a while it was grounding. He needed to go outside and walk barefoot and then on the grass 20 minutes before everybody, I mean, I have mine. I'm like, I need to work out for an hour and a half. I need to cold plunge.
That's like your everyday though.
Yeah, but
Some guys are like, I need to go in the bathroom and shoot at my dick.
yes, yes. I don't want to shoot up my dick. And so that is why I'm not shooting for studios, because I know that kind of pressure. I don't want that kind of pressure.
Yeah.
When I first started shooting, I had nightmares for a month before my first scene.
Yeah.
It'd be like my dick falling off, or like trying to find my dick and reattach it, or just like trying to get my dick hard on set. And those dreams, those nightmares have slowly gone. I still have versions of that, but
I feel like so many people don't understand like the pressure that men have to perform. Like it's crazy. And, you know, I used to host a Playboy TV show that was all amateur couples, and you had to be an amateur couple to be in the scene. And so these were guys that had no experience, and it was like 90% fail rate. It was rough.
yeah.
And so it's funny, you know, when you say like this 0 to hero, you know, thing where you take a brand new guy and all you do is shoot brand new talent. That's like my ultimate nightmare. Like I couldn't think of anything I'd rather do less than just shoot only like new male talent. Like,
but I think the caveat is for you, when you're shooting a new talent, he has to succeed.
yeah.
It would be different if you're okay with him failing.
So what happens if he fails? Like, does the scene, like, do you show the scene failing at the end and he's crying? You show him crying in the bathroom and like the girl like packing up her bags and be like, this was a waste of time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how real does he let you get?
So Blake has been great. He's finished every scene. It just sometimes he'll take a second to get hard, which every male performer does. We just show that. Or like sometimes he's come early and he's not as solid for the rest of the scene, or like he needs to jack off to right before he comes, which is pretty normal. We just show all those aspects. But for my 0 to hero, there are definitely ones I struggled hard in, and they showed that. What's funny and also a little sad for me, the ones where I struggle are the ones that have the most views on Pornhub. And Millie Morgan will attest to this too, because she sleeps with virgins. And if they fail, it does better.
So Puck, let's talk about your career and how you actually got started in adult. Like, where'd that first step come from?
It's a pretty standard story. I had no money, no prospects. I was out living in a living room somewhere, and I looked very different than I do now. I had like shaved head and like tons of piercings, and I was just kind of like in a bad relationship, bad situation. I was like, I need to make money fast. I was also following a lot of very hot women on Tumblr at the time who were cam models, and I was like, interesting. I could do that, because I had a long career in different types of performance throughout my life, like with music and acting and all sorts of things. And I also wasn't really sexually fulfilled at that time at all. And so I, got a little webcam, my little laptop, and then I got to work. And from there, honestly, I'm not going to lie, the first 5 years, I only did it to make enough money to cover rent and smoke weed.
I mean,
that was it.
That makes sense.
That
to
was
me.
it. I was just gutter punk 20s. I was very not doing anything. And which was so funny because growing up, I was valedictorian and very, very straight A's and very type A and had to be the best at everything. And then I just kind of met the real world and I was like, meh, I'm good.
Yeah.
But after a few years of that, I'm on my 12th year now next week. I was like, oh, I'm learning stuff. I'm learning a lot. Actually, if I kept pushing and kept trying, I could make something of myself. And I also love being my own boss. But I was also learning about lighting and technical things and marketing and all sorts of stuff. And I was like, oh, if I just kept pushing myself and really applied myself, I could build something. And then I started caring enough about myself to want that for myself. And now I'm just all hustle, baby. And I need to pull it back. And I need to find work-life balance.
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard.
When you're working for yourself, you're like, oh, bitch, you could keep going. What's wrong? There's no off clock. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's rough. I just yesterday, I sat on the couch and I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch a TV show tonight. I haven't watched TV in so long because now my husband goes to bed at 8 and my daughter's asleep. And so I'm like, I'm gonna watch a TV show. But I gotta check this one thing on my laptop. 2 hours later, it's midnight and I've been working the whole time. I'm like, well, never mind.
We do half movies. Whenever somebody talks about watching a TV series, I'm like, what are you talking about? How do you have time for that?
Yeah.
We get through half of a movie and
then we fall asleep to it and then we put it back on the next day.
If it's interesting. Most of them are not.
Yeah,
we abandon a lot of movies.
Yeah, we abandon a lot.
Yeah.
Jump ship.
It's hard. It's hard. So what just made you decide to start doing cosplay? When did that come up?
Okay, I feel like when it wasn't just cosplay, really, it was specifically horror cosplay. So I started throwing these crazy big Halloween parties. I'd spend a month building my house out like a haunted house. We'd have hundreds of people come and I would just make these intricate sets in my house. Thankfully, my roommates were very down and very accepting of that. I built an 8-foot PVC spider and went all in. And then as I was building that, I was also doing sex work and clip making on the side. And then I was like, oh, what if I incorporated that? So then I started doing horror cosplays on the sets that I'd already built. Cause more bang for your buck. And as I kept doing it, it got my juices flowing and I got really excited. I was like, oh, this is my thing. I love doing this. And so just kind of kept going from there.
So you do a lot of horror cosplay.
Yes.
So when you play that character, I'm assuming it's a very dominating kind of.
Yes. Or my guys really love when I'm the psycho lovesick girl. Who's really obsessed with you. I'm not a serial killer. I just love you, sweetie. I'm going to take care of you.
Oh.
We'll move into your house.
And move into your house. Yeah. So guys love it.
What's the most difficult outfit that you've ever had to do a scene in? One that where just everything was going wrong and you're like, how am I going to have sex in this?
I'd say that just not difficult. They're all hard. Especially when you're body painted and stuff. I really love working with my pet monster girl. I just had him come up for 3 days last week and every day, it was 12 to 14 hours every day. But our first shoot together was the hardest one because it was 8 hours of body paint and prosthetics, lips, cheeks, eyebrow ridges and everything, 8 hours. And then I did 8 hours of filming.
How do you do that?
I don't know. Some caffeine.
Do you ever nap while he does any of it?
I kind of go into a hibernation mode, but you have to be standing up.
Yeah.
I think I get zooted off the work itself. Because I was thinking about that last week because I couldn't have caffeine because I did some anal scenes last week while in cosplay. And so I was like, why am I so wired. And like, I think it's just like thinking about everything I have to do and checking off the list and just being excited about finally getting to this point that I worked for months for. That I think,
if I may, I think she enters kind of flow state. And I think this is what her brain and body wants to do. It's this marriage of creativity and organization and scheduling and bringing all of those things together. And I think she also, other parts of her personality fall away, like your emotions.
much more.
Because she's more, it's like energy conservation into like, what's the word? Like or microscopic lens. So everything becomes more focused. So I do think it's just a flow state.
We were talking about that last night. Because I was like, Shawn, I know that when I'm on set, sometimes I go into like a different mode. Can I be nicer? Or like, is there something I can do? Because it's not like I'm mean, but I'm just so focused that I'm not like as kind or as like overly like whatever. I'm just business.
Which I think is also why so many directors are so impressed with her performance, because I've seen her on set, and I think you can attest to this, is she'll be quiet, she'll be doing the paperwork, and you don't expect anything, and then as soon as action hits, it's just like animated, hardcore performance, and then when it cuts, it's off.
Okay.
And so that dichotomy and that split is like, oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. That's been really fun. When I work with new directors, they're just kind of like, I'll be like yawning on set, not because I'm tired or bored. It's just like conserving energy. I'm like, I'm like very deadpan and
power down.
Power down.
Yeah, it is like Robin Williams is the same way. I'm sure a lot of comedians and performers are this way. When they're not on, they are like low and quiet, and you're kind of that way too. Yeah. But when you're on, she's on.
That makes sense. I mean, you've got to put so much energy into what you're doing.
Yeah.
So what's the craziest cosplay request you've ever gotten? Do you do customs?
For the cosplay ones, they're very expensive if you want me to be like all up in that. But last week, one guy did, commission the Lazelle Baldur's Gate 3-1. Not enough to cover the full thing because that was a very expensive shoe.
Yeah.
But a small chunk of it, thankfully, was, covered. And then I have fans. I kind of crowdfund my big ones.
Yeah.
So I'll have different like tiers that you can buy in at.
Right. Yeah, I do the same thing.
Yeah. But yeah, Baldur's Gate was a big one. Van Wilde was Carnus, who was like a spider creature. And then Sophia Locke was Karlach.
Wow. Yeah, it was funny because I saw Sophia and I did not recognize her. And she was like, she comes up to me. She's like, it's Sophia Locke.
That's a great impression of her, like with the hands and everything.
Yeah, she's like, it's me. Sophia. And I was like, oh my God, I never in 100 years.
So good.
Yeah, she looked amazing.
I was really proud of that one.
That was amazing.
I was very excited.
So, Shawn, I'm going to come back to you. As someone who was a writer before porn and now has worked on all sides of the porn industry, can you explain why porn writing is often really bad?
Yes, it's because you're trying to jump from the connection moment to the fucking in a very short period of time, which is why one of the most cliched things you'll hear on set is, what are you doing? Because it's like, oh, my stepmom enters, and then all of a sudden she's touching my dick. Whereas like in a movie, that connection is taking place throughout the whole movie, and they have time. They have different locations. They can build this tension. In porn, you do not have that time.
Yeah.
And I've done a lot of writing for like Ricky Greenwood, and he'll usually be like, all right, I want to do a Western. I want to do like a war movie like Rambo. And so I like think of ways, I'm trying to make the sex make sense in the story. But then they'll come back with notes and be like, okay, and then I need them to fuck at this point. And I'm like, but it doesn't make sense that these characters would fuck. Or they're in the middle of a war. They probably aren't going to just stop and have sex while they're being hunted. But you have to do a little bit of suspension of disbelief for that.
Yeah.
I guess.
Also, like a lot of porn plots are just going to be centered on the house because guess what? We don't have a budget for multiple locations. Yeah. So what's the conflict that can happen in a house? Looks like we're related. Right. So,
like, or that used to be the plumber or the pizza delivery thing. It's how do you get a random person into a house? Okay. Who shows up at your door?
Mm-hmm. Some sort of tension and conflict. And then
Yeah, I think it's really just the limitations of porn and what people don't realize that we're working with. Most people don't get into porn. I know this is going to shock a lot of people. Most people don't get into porn to be actors, nor do they think they're going to be actors.
That's not true.
Not everybody is a theater nerd.
I'm here for the camp of it all.
Yeah. Oftentimes people are getting 20-page scripts that they get that day and that they memorize. And I still think that in porn, there's some people that I am very impressed. I'm like, how did you memorize that in 10 minutes? That is an accomplishment. Now, you weren't necessarily like a great actor, but you did the fucking part great, which is the important.
The part that everyone watches.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the kind of porn stories that I like are the ones you actually think could be true or real. And those are more like really easy POV stuff.
It's hard because like like features generally, the big movies, they generally need like minimum 4 sex scenes.
Yeah.
Yep.
How are you going to find a reason why people are going to
characters.
have sex 4 times and they have to be different people and that kind of thing? That's kind of like why we like producing featurettes because there only needs to be 1 sex scene.
Right.
And then you can build a whole story around that.
Yes.
But the whole like there has to be 4 sex scenes like thing is just...
And then the director will come after you've written the script and be like, can you make this scene into a foursome? And I don't have this person on this day, so you have to cut this section.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of like, okay, well, this story makes no sense anymore. But sure.
All right. So, Puck, you kind of made a joke earlier about how you are you struggle to balance work and life. Are there any steps that you were taking to manage that? Do you have any ideas on how you're going to go?
I have lots of ideas.
Okay.
Ideas all the time thinking about it.
I feel like I can answer this question better than her because she is not going to give you an objective answer. Problem is, she starts delegating more work to other people, so she doesn't have to do it.
I do have a team.
But then she has more free time to do more work and make more money.
I know.
So there's never, it just keeps expanding.
Well, then I have to manage
Yes, more
the
people.
team.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have a manager to manage the team. I'd have to train the manager too, but no one can handle all the things yet. I am slowly delegating. I have like 4 people who help me. I could not exist without them. But there are some things that me and Shawn do. Like we'll pick 1, maybe 2 days a month where we take off together and we call them pancake days and we microdose and write stories. And those are our days off. But Shawn works just as much as me, like till 8 or 9 every night. Like we'll be yelling at each other, but like, are you ready yet? Can we stop now? Like, is it time to go to bed?
Her work is just much more profitable. Mine is like, I'm tending these little streams of income. She's tending rivers of income.
Do you guys have any big plans for this year? Any big projects coming up?
We are. So the one thing that we do to get off the hustle mode is we have to like leave the city. Like we physically leave or the country. So we are taking a trip. We're going to the UK for 2 weeks. It's not planned yet. That's my job. I'll get to it very soon.
Are you guys going to shoot content while you're out there?
Maybe, but probably just
that won't be the
amateur
focus.
stuff.
Yeah,
It'll be like, we're going to explore castles.
But if you do, you can write off the trip.
Oh, God. Okay. Okay, Holly.
Sorry. I just ruined your trip.
Every trip we've gone on, we end up shooting.
Yes.
It's just more of the intimate stuff that people love. Like usually sells just as well as anything else.
Yeah.
So.
Do you guys have a hard time like having sex and not being like, oh, we should turn the camera on and make money off
At
of
the
this?
beginning, it was very much like that.
Yeah.
For like for quite a few months, but lately it's not been as much. I think.
Yesterday, we had sex and I came inside her and then I grabbed the phone and showed
Did after.
the aftermath.
But we've realized that guys like Shawn, this is so funny because Shawn is known as Cuckoldberry Finn
Right.
in the industry.
Yes.
However, my fans think he's the alpha and they love to be cucked by him. So if we turn the camera on and we're having intimate sex and then I just kind of glance over sometimes and I'm like, yeah, you like this? That's fine. They love that because, he's king.
Can you tell us about your
Cuckoldberry Finn?
cuckiness?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Your cuckoldom.
My cuck legend. So porn is made for cheap, and I am always on set, and I have, what's the word? I don't have a huge ego. And so when the director is like, hey, for an extra $50, will you be cheated on in this scene? And I say, yes, I will take that $50 to watch those two people have sex. But it's gotten to a point.
Already would have been doing off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I got to a point where that I just do it because it's funny and it keeps me entertained. And I work for Quasar a lot, and it's one of the things that makes him the happiest to write me.
And there are a few things in life that make Quasar happy.
yeah.
So
it's one of, he does a movie just so he can cuck me in new and brilliant ways and humiliate me. I think it's hilarious. I want to get to a point where there's like a cuck meme about me.
You're there. It's got to be out there.
But the thing is, I think I'm a terrible cuck because the problem is people actually think I am a cuck, and I guess I am in real life because you sleep with other people in front of me, and all of my partners sleep with other.
That's not.
But I'm not like, I don't love watching it.
I love watching it. I am a cuck queen.
Yeah.
Personally, I get off on watching Shawn fuck other people. I think it's great. It's kind of like hot husbanding.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm into it. I film
Like
it. It's great.
he's hot. It's like you get this sports car that's really awesome, and like, do you want to
take a
drive
ride.
it?
Yeah.
I'm a sports car?
You're a sports car.
Like a
do you
Miata.
want to take like a little spin?
You're a little Miata.
I'm a little Miata.
Yeah. The lady's going to drive you around.
And then return you.
Don't scratch it.
No, they scratch it. They put some miles on it. The cucking thing, it's just funny to me. And I think what's interesting too is there's male performers who like won't take cucking work, or they won't be cucked in a scene because like
I think it's degrading.
they think that people care and nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody at all care. And I think too, just embracing it. Like I make fun of myself, so you can try to make fun of me, but I'm probably going to beat you to the punch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just, I'm always on set, and another person adds production value. So I've been married to a lot of porn women who've all cheated on me.
But you were married to them.
But I was married to them. Yeah.
It chose you first.
It chose me first.
That's a sweet way.
I remember a turning point was Jackie was like, hey, if I pay you extra money, will you make out with Jessa Rhodes naked in bed? And I was like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that for you. Yeah.
Take one for the team.
The first time, yeah. For a while, I was Lucas Frost. I was his contract cuckold. He needed me. The first time I met Melissa Stratton, she was my wife. And it was funny because we were like in bed together, and she's like taking my arm and putting my arm on her boob and stuff. But it's funny that I've met so many people that way. And actually, Armani Black, I was on set with her, and I couldn't remember what set I'd been with her. And she's like, remember, I was your wife. And yeah, I was like, oh, that doesn't narrow it down. Most people in this industry, they forget who they've had sex with. Yeah. I forget who I've been married to who's cheated on me.
Yeah.
There's just so many.
So many. Oh my God. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on.
Yes,
it's been such a pleasure. And I do have a bunch of questions for you from our Patreon members.
Great.
So we're going to do those in a separate segment.
Cool.
But in the meantime, can you guys please tell everyone where they can find you online?
I am on manyvids, littlepuck.manyvids.com. I'm on X, Little Puck. TikTok is Little Puck PLS, and Instagram, Little Puck's Playhouse. Perfect.
You can find me Manyvids, Pornhub, X, Instagram, TikTok. All are at Shawn Alff.
ALFF.
ALFF, 2 Fs.
And then you guys can find me on Instagram and X at Holly Randall, and TikTok, Holly Randall 78. I also have a Telegram channel that I've been posting a lot on. And I don't think I can like say the link. I think you just have to click on it. Just go to hollylinks.com and it'll be on there, and you'll find all the links to all of my profiles. And of course, if you want to watch this episode streamed live and listen to the bonus content like what we're about to do, the Q&A, go to patreon.com/Holly Randall Unfiltered. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.